Good morning, Full Circle Fitness fans. Here we are again with another at-home video workout series. Today I want to focus on flexibility and stretching. So this is going to be volume 3 of our flexibility workouts that we've been doing for you guys. We're going to show you 5 brand new stretches you can do in the comfort of your own home that's good for people over 50 in our senior crowd, but basically any age group of people can do these stretches, and I'll tell you why. The topic today is going to be sedentariness, and I don't care what age you are, everybody sits too much, and especially now during this whole COVID-19 thing where we're locked inside our house, at least partially right now, people are getting out and moving more, which is fantastic, but we still probably sit a little bit too much. And when we sit a little too much, things happen to our spine and our body. We get kind of this hyperkyphosis where we're rounding our posture. So we're rounding in and collapsing, and our pecs get really tight. So when we round like this, the head goes forward as well. Okay, and when the head goes forward, most of the time we get this anterior pelvic tilt with the pelvis and our forward is going forward. So all this on the lumbar, thoracic, and cervical part of your spine are getting in a very, very uncomfortable and very bad position for all of them, leading to bulging discs, spinal stenosis. If you have osteoporosis as you're getting older, all of these compounded issues put a lot of stress on your spine. So what we want to do today with these 5 exercises is show you how to open all of that stuff up. So let's get right into it. Now, all of our stretches we're going to hold for 30 to 60 seconds, and you want to do these stretches 2 to 3 times per day, okay? And you can do more if you want. These are very easy stretches to do. If you want to do 5 times per day, you're more than welcome to do that. But we're going to show you 1 time all the way through, and then you can do these stretches 2 or 3 more times. So it should take you about 10 to 15 minutes total. So let's get right into it. 5 exercises are going to help improve your posture for sitting too much at home right now. The first one that I'd like to do is a lying neck stretch. Now, the thing specifically about this is it's not only a stretch for the fascia around your cervical part of your spine, which is great. Stretching fascia is a little bit different than stretching muscles. Fascia is the sheath around the muscle. Fascia runs all throughout our body. I always give the analogy to my clients like fascia. For an example, fascia would be the inside of a pumpkin when you open it up before you take the guts out. The guts are the fascia, and they connect to everything. So stretching one fascia will loosen up other areas as well. Now, the neck stretch or the neck fascia stretch is going to be done lying in a supinated position. It's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, so you have to ease into the stretch. This stretch is a little bit different than the other 4 that we're going to do. So I'll show this one first. So we're going to get into a supinated position, okay, which is just lying on your back. My toes are going to point, okay, that way. I'm going to reach my hands above my head, okay. My thumb is going to be down, all right. So thumb down, toes pointed, all right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on lifting my head up off the ground, just 2 inches from the ground. Now in this position, I want to tuck my chin. And as I tuck my chin, I put that spine in a nice neutral alignment. But my head is still hovering off the ground about 1 inch. So I'll show you that again one more time. I'm going to raise my head up 2 inches, tuck that chin in, put it in a nice neutral position. Now right here, we're going to feel some stress on the back of our neck and then kind of around our ears as well. And that's totally normal. Like I said in the beginning, this is a stretch that's going to strengthen your neck just as much as stretch that fascia. That's the beauty of this stretch. So when you're doing this stretch, there's a couple important cues to remember. So again, I'm pointing my toes. My whole lower body, I want to have the intention of pushing my whole lower body that way. And my whole upper body arms going this way with my head. So from my chest up is going this way, and my waist down is going that way. So again, I'm pushing my lower body that way, my upper body, I'm going to lift my head up 2 inches, tuck my chin, nice neutral position. Now, I'm acting like someone has a string on the top of my head and pulling my head this way. All right? Great way. And you're going to feel, again, counting for about 10 seconds to start and then relaxing, and then work your way up to doing 30 to 60 seconds. Again, it's going to be a very intense feeling in that neck. So start with 10 seconds and then increase 5-second intervals until you can get strong enough to do 30 to 60 seconds on this one. All right, again, a great way to stretch out all of that fascia in that cervical part of the spine when we have our head forward too much throughout the day. especially looking on all those tech devices now. The second stretch is a very similar position, except you're not going to raise your head up, and it's going to be for your abdominals, okay? It's a great abdominal stretch. This is why I combined these two together. So, again, I'm reaching above, thumbs down. I'm pointing my toes that way. Now, instead of raising my head up, I'm just going to let my head rest, and then I'm going to be able to focus more on pushing this way and pulling this way, okay? And if your lower back comes up off the floor, that's perfectly fine, because we're stretching all of these areas in our abdominal region right now. And you just really try to reach with that thumbs down, reach, and then really push those toes back. Okay, and push those toes and reach, and hold this stretch for 30 to 60 seconds. Now, you can move your body a little bit to the right and get a little more of your psoas muscles and your QLs, your quadratus lumborum muscles in the back here if you want. So going side to side while you're really reaching and engaging and trying to stretch. But again, a great way to stretch those middle section muscles, those abdominal muscles. So stretch number 3 is going to be a psoas stretch. Okay, and the psoas is a very important muscle. The psoas major is responsible, the action is flexing the hip. So why do you think this muscle would be very tight when we sit a lot? Because when we sit, even though we think we're not working any muscles, we are, because this hip is on constant flexion, okay? So anytime you're doing this motion, you're working those hip flexors, you're working those psoas majors. So they get very, very tight. Why does it matter if it gets tight? Because it can compress your disc, especially in the bottom of your thoracic and your lumbar. And that compression can lead to bulging discs and a lot of severe issues in your discs as you get older. So you want to make sure, and it also further exacerbates that anterior pelvic tilt that we said when we were rounding and that pelvis goes forward. We don't want that because it compresses a lot, okay? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hanging off the bed, okay? We're going to have one knee. I always tell my clients to have one knee hanging off right above where that crease in the back of the knee is, okay? We're going to lie back, and we're going to tuck one leg in, hugging it, all right? Now, the other leg, I'm going to be pushing down, okay? Not enough to raise that lower back up off the ground. We don't want to raise that lower back off. We actually want to keep it flat. That's why we're bringing this knee in towards our chest. So we're just letting this leg hang off while we're tucking this other knee in, and you can feel that amazing stretch throughout your psoas right here from about right below the ribs all the way down into your quad, all right? And so, again, you're holding this 30 to 60 seconds on each side. And so a lot of times, if my clients don't feel this stretch and you have a partner at home that could take your foot and bring it inward towards you, bring your foot down and in, your heel towards you, you can feel that stretch a little bit deeper. You also want to make sure that you're squeezing your glute at the same time you're doing the stretch. And I know it's kind of hard to think about, but you want to squeeze that glute as you're pushing this leg down, and you'll feel that stretch a little bit more in that psoas muscle. You can even tie heavy leg weights to your leg. You can get a chair and push the chair in towards your leg so it's making it flex more. So there's a lot of different options you can do to make the stretch a little more intense. But again, it's a great way to hit those psoas muscles that get really, really tight because we sit quite often. All right. Now, the next 2 stretches are going to be done with a stability ball. All right. A lot of times, the pecs and the lats get very tight as we sit because we have a tendency to kind of round our posture. When we round, these pec muscles kind of contract inward, pulling us, okay? And so, and also the same thing with the lats kind of get shortened in as well. So we want to make sure that we're stretching both of those muscles, and these are just 2 fun variety ways, different ways that you can stretch your pecs and your lats. So I'll show you from this angle first. You're going to have your arm laying on the ball. Your elbow has to be on the ball, all right? Arm bent 90 degrees, and we're going to take this other arm and just kind of bend it down, and we should feel that stretch from the attachments in the shoulder all across that pec, okay? And we're just going to hold that for 30 to 60 seconds. I'll show you from this angle as well. All right, so the arm is resting. All right, I'm dropping my body by bending that other arm and holding that stretch for 30 to 60 seconds. Just make sure my lower back right here doesn't start to arch like this. We want to keep that tucked under. All right, now the second stretch, the lat stretch on the ball. All right. Or our last stretch today is going to be done with your thumb up, hand on the ball to start with, okay? Now, the further back you get your hand, if you start here and roll, you're not going to have that much range of motion. So I always tell my clients to start further back on the ball. Placing your hand here, head facing down, you're going to really try to reach forward like you're trying to grab a pair of keys you can't get or an item you really want, but it's just out of your reach. So you're really trying to reach forward, and you're going to feel that stretch from the arm all the way down, okay? And so I'll show you from this view as well. All right, so hands placed down, arms here. I'm going to reach forward, my head's facing down, reach forward and hold that for 30 to 60 seconds, okay? And again, make sure when you're doing this, your lower back is in that nice neutral position. You're not sticking your butt up like this and arching it, okay? Keep that core nice and tight while you're stretching. All right, so there you go. There's 5 stretches that can really help improve your posture, because with all this sedentariness that's going on right now, with everybody stuck at home or working from home or working on their computers. So try those out. Again, do those 2 to 3 times all the way through every day, and you're going to feel so much better when you open everything up, and you're going to be able to protect your spine more later on in life dealing with compression issues. All right, so again, check out all our other videos, check out our other flexibility videos, all our other FItAfter50 and 60 videos, and we're also introducing our FItAfter40 videos for those of you that want a little more intense workouts. So please, if you like the video, like it, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. And as always, be safe and be active.